Left corner of the exhibit out there in the shade in front of the rocks is a big gray rhino. Looks like a rock itself, but its head's out in the sun, and you might see its ears and horns way out there in the back, the front left corner. That's one of the two adult black rhinos that lives out there. And the black rhinos are quite endangered. There were 70,000 of them in the late 60s in the wild, now down to less than 5,000. So one of the ways to help them is by breeding them. We've had 13 of them born here. The two adult rhinos that live out there, male and a female, have had the last 4 of the 13 together. They've done really well. Now, on our left side, folks, as you go down the hill, you'll see on top of the hill on our left side, there's some green reeds appearing to come out of the ground. They're actually growing out of some ponds up there, which we put in as a wetland to filter our stored irrigation water to improve its quality. And it's a lot cheaper for us to use a natural method like that to filter our stored irrigation water than to build and operate a filtration plant. On our right side, you see that little tree bob by itself there at the base of the grass? Well, look to the left of it. There's actually 2 rhinos lying in the shade of the tree, a mom and her 7-month-old baby boy. He's on the right side of mom, and in front of her too. Those are 2 southern white rhinos. And actually the southern white rhinos are actually one of the real success stories at our park in Africa. You can see their ears flipping back and forth. They're not asleep, they're checking us out with their ears. In the late 1800s, people thought this kind of rhino had gone extinct, and then a small group, less than 100, was found in the eastern part of South Africa. At that point, the South African government protected them, got them up to about 1,000 the year before we opened. They then gave us 14 young females. Since then, we've had 93 of them born. That's number 93 with his mom out there. And because of our efforts, other groups around the world, there's now almost 20,000 the southern white rhinos worldwide. They're now the only rhino species on Earth that isn't endangered or critically endangered. And that's due to a lot of conservation work by a lot of people. So go look at mom and her 7-month-old baby boy rhino out there on our right side. They're in the shade to cool off. Also on our right side ahead of us, folks, we have some more giraffes. And these are going to be mostly Rothschild's giraffes. They are much more endangered in the wild than the Maasai giraffe we saw earlier. So one of the ways to help them is by breeding them. And we've had 124 of this kind of giraffe born here since we opened, including 5 last year as one way to help them out. And also with the giraffes, folks, a big black Cape buffalo here as well ahead of us. These are 3 males. We have separated them from the breeding herd of the buffalo we saw earlier so they don't fight with the dominant male or the females. We don't want anybody getting injured or killed by that. And because our 3 males are out here without females, they are the best of friends that look out for each other. The 3rd male is actually up the canyon on our right side. Hard to see him. So on our safari, we saw how animals in Africa are supremely well adapted to deal with the challenges of surviving in the wild. We also saw how, in a lot of cases, they need our help to deal with the challenges of surviving around us, humans. And specifically, we looked at adaptations animals have for reproduction in Africa and some of the conservation work we do at the park. And right now, our organization is working on helping 170 species in 38 countries all around the world. And all of our conservation work is supported by folks like you visiting and by the San Diego Zoo Global Wildlife Conservancy. For more information about them, go to their website, endextinction.org. And finally, with that ways you can help wildlife at home by fighting global climate change, by reducing, reusing, repairing, and recycling everything you can. Now, we didn't get a chance to see our cheetah in the cheetah exhibit, but if you want to try to see her on your own, walk to your left after you leave our station. Now, today at 3:30 on the grass strip next to Lions will be the cheetah run. And there you can see a different cheetah run by you off leash. You do not need a special ticket for that unless you like to meet the cheetah afterwards, which is really fun. Now, speaking of the lion exhibit, it's ahead of us on our right side just beyond the trees. If you'd like to try to see them on your own, walk to your right after you leave our station.